2002 was the last time Texas football won in Manhattan, and the drought continues. What's at stake for Charlie Strong and his club? We break down the loss and bring you up to date on all the news around Texas sports. This is College Press Box. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the #1 sports coverage show right here on the 40 Acres. I'm your host, Grant Michaels. The Longhorns struggle in Manhattan like few other places in the country. They're now 1-7 all-time there, the only win coming 16 years ago. Kansas State quarterback Jesse Ertz ran for 2 touchdowns and threw for another score. Kansas State held Texas running back Deontay Foreman in check, and the Wildcats held on for a 24-21 victory on Saturday night. This puts the Horns at 3-4 on the season. Joining me now to talk more about the Longhorns' loss is football analysts Nick Kuholtz and Steve Helwick. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent, Grant. How about you?
I'm doing excellent as well, thank you. Dylan Haynes talks about the team needing to be more consistent in order to win.
And I think we're a good football team, but obviously we're not playing that way because we're just not consistent. I mean, we'll play a good half, or we'll start the game good, but then as it goes on, we won't play for 60 minutes. So we just got to get better at that. And I don't know if it's a confidence thing, if it's a preparation thing, it's an atmosphere thing. It's probably a combination of all three, but we just have to find a way to get it done for 60 minutes, and we're just not doing that right now.
Texas can't seem to get off this roller coaster after opening the season with 2 wins, then losing the next 4 of 5. Charlie Strong and the team are searching for answers. Boys, what needs to happen for the Horns to find this consistency?
Well, first they have to figure themselves out before they ever will be consistent. The defense is awful, special teams is as well, and while the offense has bright moments, they're nowhere near perfect. This team in general is not good, and there's no reason why they aren't winning with the talent they have. It's not happening, though, and that has to change. Coaching needs to be better, the players need to perform. All in all, everything needs to be fixed. Texas can become consistent if they find their own identity first. By now, you would think the Horns would have enough motivation to turn things around after some of these embarrassing losses they've had, but it's time for them to take that to the field.
First half, the offense and defense were absent. In the second half, the team finally stepped up on both sides of the ball, only allowing 3 points and moving the ball on offense. But a lack of consistency plagued Texas once again. Texas needs to play games from start to finish in order to earn these tough conference victories. For that to happen, the defense needs more discipline. They need to cut down on penalties, wrap up to prevent missed tackles, and offensively, Texas just needs to spread the field and test defenses with its passing attack. The passing game, minus a few crucial 4th down drops, was efficient with a pair of touchdowns and must open up to start winning in the future.
Well, as you mentioned, there's no excuse right now, and Texas fans are losing confidence quick. Shane Buechele believes a win over 8th-ranked Baylor at home will bring back the excitement in Texas Memorial Stadium.
I think it's really important just to get a win at home, anywhere basically, but, just to have our fans here, it's important to keep them on our side, just have them support us, and, I think it's important to just continue to try to get a win at home.
With the 8th-ranked team in the nation in Baylor coming to town, gentlemen, how important is this game, and what does this Texas team have to do to get the win?
Texas is a different animal at home and on the road. The Longhorns are 3-0 at home this year and 0-4 away from Austin. Also, Texas is 1-7 in true road games since 2015, with a lone victory actually coming against Baylor last season. It won't be easy, but this is actually a winnable game for Texas. Baylor has beaten one team with a winning record in Oklahoma State in its easy schedule. Winning another top 10 game would boost this team's confidence to the level it was prior to the Cal matchup. Baylor nearly lost to Iowa State and has struggles against the ground game, something Texas could use to its advantage with Deontay Foreman 100 yards in each game at the helm. The Big 12 schedule appears tough for Texas, so for the Longhorns, they must execute all around at home in order to keep their bowl hopes alive this season.
Well, winning any game at this point is important. With the way Texas has played this year, and after another 3-4 start to the season, the Longhorns have to win now, whatever it takes. It obviously starts with Baylor on Saturday, but I won't be shocked if the Bears score 55-60 on Texas. And I don't see how they can upset the eighth-ranked team in the country, but they have to find a way. If the Horns are going to somehow win, they need a perfect game offensively because the defense is going to have a rough day dealing with the Baylor offense. Texas is undefeated at home, as Steve mentioned, but they haven't beat a single good opponent, as we now see Notre Dame isn't the team people thought they were. So this weekend is Texas's first true home test. We'll see how they respond to it.
Defensive tackle Paul Boyette hopes to move on from the rough start of the season and says that this year isn't over because there's 5 games remaining.
Of course, I don't think nobody expected it. So, I mean, it's adversity. That's what it really is. It's just really adversity. And, like, you got to be, to overcome adversity, you got to be willing to fight through it and then keep pushing through it. Because, I mean, our season still hasn't been written yet. So, like, people can write us off all they want, but I mean, the season's not over. We still have 5 games left.
Texas faces West Virginia, TCU, and Texas Tech down the road. How important is it for this team to take it one game at a time?
The season isn't over, but there's not a lot left they can accomplish. They can still make a bowl game, but they have to pull some upsets together in order to do that. More importantly, though, Texas has to find a way to actually look like they can compete and give some sort of hope to the fan base. They still have 2 top 10 teams left on their schedule, so it's not going to be any easier. And with the way the Longhorns have played lately, it's hard to see them finishing strong, but we'll see what they can do.
5 games remain, but Texas will likely be favored in just one of them, a road game versus a slightly improved Kansas team in Lawrence. Rebounding back to 500 may not be easy. Texas's next 2 home games are against the only 2 undefeated teams in the Big 12, in Baylor and West Virginia. And one of the road games is against Texas Tech in their dominant passing offense. They threw for 734 yards last Saturday. Texas has had decent showings on offense and defense this season, but they aren't occurring simultaneously. Consistency has been an issue, and it has to occur with both units in order for Texas to bounce back and return to bowl season. It will not be easy. It will definitely be a demanding challenge.
Well, boys, thank you for coming out tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you on. When we come back, we will take our discussion throughout the 40 acres. Welcome back to College Press Box. With me now is our very own Alexa Alexandro. Alexa, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Number 2 Texas volleyball defeated Texas Tech 3-2 in Lubbock to improve to 16-2 on the season on Friday night. Senior Paulina Perito Surme led the Longhorns in kills with a career-high 24 kills on 52 swings. She also added 6 blocks and 6 digs. Junior Ebony Wanabu and freshman Micaiah White also posted double-digit kills for Texas, both with 16. Texas will return to Gregory Gym to host Oklahoma on Wednesday, October 26th at 7 p.m. The match will be televised live on the Longhorn Network.
On Friday evening at McCombs Field, the Texas Longhorns battled against the Temple College Leopards. The Longhorns finished with a complete game shutout from senior pitcher Tiara Davis. Davis struck out 11 Leopards while allowing just 1 hit over 7 innings of work. With the victory, Texas improved to 2-0 during its 2016 fall campaign. UT returns to fall action at McCombs Field next Thursday, October 27th, with a match against McLennan Community College.
An absolute banger of a shot from junior midfielder Carla Portillo with less than 12 minutes remaining pushed the number 1 ranked West Virginia women's soccer team to a hard-fought 1-0 win at Texas. UT became the 7th straight Big 12 team to fail to score on the Mountaineers' backline. The Horns now fall to 8-8 on the season and will finish Big 12 play against TCU in Fort Worth this Friday.
Number 14, Texas women's golf shot a first-round 284 to sit in 7th place at the Las Vegas Collegiate on Sunday. The final round was rained out and will be continued on Tuesday. Senior Julia Beck was one of 3 players to finish below even par. Texas men's golf won their first tournaments of the season at the Golf Club of Georgia. 4 of the 5 Longhorns finished under par, and Texas shot the lowest round of any team on Sunday. Senior Gavin Hall had the best round of any Longhorn since 2012. He finished in a tie for 4th overall.
Both the men's and women's tennis teams were in action this weekend. Texas freshman Yuya Ito won his quarterfinal contest and scored his 4th win of the tournament, but was eliminated in the singles semifinal Sunday afternoon at the ITA Texas Regional Championships. Ito began the afternoon by recording a convincing 6-2 win over Baylor's Jimmy Bendick in the quarterfinals. Texas senior Nita Koprasina held on for a 3-set win and advanced to the singles finals of the ITA Texas Regional Championships. The 82nd ranked Koprasina took on Texas Tech's 56th ranked Gabriela Talaba in Sunday's semifinals and claimed the first set 6-3. Talaba was able to force a 3rd set, but Koprasina picked up the one service break she needed in the final set and put the match away.
The men's and women's swimming and diving teams kicked off their season with their first meet against Indiana and Florida at the Hoosiers Aquatic Center. The women's team won 14 out of 15 events, while the men's team won 5 events. Sophomore Joanna Evans remained on top after winning the distance events in Friday's long course meet. The Olympian decisively won the 1,000 freestyle event. The men's team knocked off Florida by a 182-99 count. Rio Olympics gold medalist Clark Smith also came out with the win in the 1,000-yard freestyle event for the men's team. Texas resumes dual meet competition on Thursday, November 3rd, when it hosts Texas A&M.
Sophomore guard Eric Davis Jr. hit a 3-pointer from the left wing with 26 seconds left. That proved to be the game winner for the white team, lifting them to a 59-56 victory against Team Orange on Thursday evening. The Texas tip-off, an inter-squad scrimmage for the number 22 Longhorns, featured a format of 2 12-minute halves and was played in front of over 2,000 fans at historic Gregory Gym right here on the UT campus. Well, thank you, Alexa, for joining us. Coming up next, we're going to talk about college football beyond the 40 acres. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to College Press Box. Luke Hendry alongside James Garachos. Men in gray tonight celebrating a Texas golf victory. This is Unhooked, and we're going to take a look beyond the 40 acres.
Hey, we're talking golf, right?
Now, football, week 8. Take it away, James.
All right, well, in football action, literally 7 days ago, we talked about Ohio State and how they could essentially put everything in cruise control until they face Nebraska, and more importantly, Michigan in their last game of the season. Well, now both games have twice as much importance because of what happened to the Buckeyes on Saturday. Let's head to the Happy Valley. Here we go, 12-0, looking nice for Ohio State, but Trace McSorley with a tighter fade than Swaggy P. And it's reeled in by Chris Godwin. Nice little catch, no problem. But remember this next play. Yeah, everyone's all excited. Yeah, all these fans, but this isn't too good. High snap into the end zone, but it's recovered by Penn State, so it's 21-7 instead of 26-7. Remember that. Now, they would tack on some extra points, but Trace McSorley here, he's going to find Saeed Blacknell way downfield. That would lead to a score. Now look at this other angle we got here, pulling it in with the bicep, something I don't really have much of. He does, and that would lead to a score. But Ohio State, they're going to have a chance to ice it, but it's blocked. Marcus Allen with the huge block, and Grant Haley will take it all the way home. No one's catching him except for the ref. They both tumble into the end zone at the same time. How cute. Huge, huge win for Penn State. James Franklin's pumped. And he had that nice little Jurgen Klopp-like fist pump. It's not going to matter too much for them, but big state for Penn State. Ohio State, not so good.
Big win for the Nittany Lions, no doubt. Probably not as big as for the Ponies. SMU and Chad Morris welcomed an arguably a tough competition this weekend. The 11th-ranked Houston Cougars came to Ford Stadium. The Mustangs dropped back beginning of the second quarter. Jeremiah Grains hurdles into the end zone. That's a touchdown. Mustangs players are loving it. They go up 14-0. SMU offense rolling early. Very next drive. Hicks to the back of the end zone. Cortland Sutton, that's a catch. Sutton would agree on this play. 21-0 Mustangs. Now to close out the first half, 19 seconds on the clock. Ben Hicks launches one deep to a wide open Justin Lawyer. He catches it. Dusted off SMU, dusted off. 28-7 for the Mustangs heading into half. Now, the defense complemented the offense very nicely for the Stangs all game long. Greg Ward Jr. suffering some pressure. He's tracked down by Justin Lawyer for the sack. SMU showing some signs on greatness of both sides of the field. First time we've seen that since the Pony Express. Now we head to the fourth quarter, 4:51 remaining. Greg Ward Jr. trying to save a season for Houston underneath, swamped by the SMU defense. Mustangs would go on to win this one 38-16. It was something to celebrate in Dallas. Mustangs now move to 3-4, but the win was big for Chad Morris's program. This was SMU's first win against a top 11 opponent since their victory over number 6 Pitt in the Cotton Bowl, and get this, 1983.
Whew. We're going to have to move from some nice little facts here to some hot takes as we go to Unhooked. We'll close out with Unhooked once again and finish it off. 2 minutes in the box coming up. This week we're talking domination. For the first week in college football, it was a dream. Upsets and close scores were all over the country. Yet the last 5 weeks brought a lot less excitement. And there's a clear separation in talent and results among the current top 4, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon.
You look at the top 4 and you said it, dominance. I would be surprised if you don't see Michigan, Clemson, Alabama, and Washington competing for the national championship. Michigan is dominating the Big Ten. Clemson is handling the ACC. Washington seems to have the Pac-12 locked up. And Alabama may be the best team in the Nick Saban era. These 4 teams are winning games decisively week in and week out.
Of course, it's because they have great coaching, but really, it comes down to an unfair crop of talent who fairly want to be on the winning side of things week in and week out. The NBA has realized they have the exact same problem. Super teams are just crushing their opponents over and over, like Golden State, who just signed Kevin Durant. Alabama already has 3 of the top 10 recruits in the nation for this year. The rich just keep getting richer.
Michigan, on average, is defeating their teams this year by 39 points. They put up 63 on Hawaii, 78 on Rutgers, just demolishing programs. Same goes for Clemson. The Tigers are averaging wins by a margin of 21 points and only have 1 ranked opponent left on their schedules. But let's be honest, 1 loss does not count Michigan or Clemson out of the playoffs.
No, it does not. Alabama has beat their opponents by a combined 232 points this season. And remember Oregon? Well, Washington put up 70 on them. And a couple of things have led to this monopoly over talent. 1, reoccurring conference realignment. For example, Louisville, who recently moved into the ACC, is now recruiting heavily out of Florida, aka Lamar Jackson. And now there are these IMG academies that are taking away from the local fervor because players are leaving for boarding schools earlier and earlier. Coming and playing for your home state is not a priority anymore. And Michigan's Jim Harbaugh is wearing pajamas and watching Netflix with 5-star recruits. Clearly, this is not what the NCAA wants. And it's not what the fans want, because at this point, the only way you can get into a playoff is to have a near-perfect season. So until this changes, we better pray Charlie Strong puts on his PJs and turns around the Texas ship.
There's no doubt recruiting is a major play in these dominating
so
programs. Netflix, recruiting, PJs, something Charlie Strong and maybe Texas needs to look into. That's all we got for 2 minutes in the box. When we come back, Grant Michaels will tell you what's going on this week in Texas sports. And Mark Skoll Jr. takes a look inside wide receiver Devin Duvernay's start here at Texas. Stick around. We'll be right back.
For a final time tonight, we welcome you back to College Press Box. Let's check out what's going on in Texas sports throughout the week. Tuesday, the 25th, women's golf at the Las Vegas Collegiate Showdown. Wednesday, volleyball will play OU 7 p.m. at the Longhorn Network. And Thursday, softball will play McLennan College at 7 p.m. Friday, softball will play Galveston College at 5 p.m. and soccer will be at Fort Worth playing TCU. Saturday, we have a host of sports ranging from football, track and field, cross country, volleyball, and rowing for the weekend. Plenty of action there. After Baylor failed to turn in his letter of intent, the 42nd ranked prospect Devin Duvernay committed to Texas back in June. From decommitting from Baylor to scoring touchdowns in 3 consecutive games, Mark Skoll Jr. reports on Duvernay's impact on this Texas offense.
Texas freshman wide receiver Devin Duvernay is all about speed.
At a young age, I always beat everyone. when I was running.
And he says he'll take down the competition, no matter the circumstance.
Flip-flops, barefoot, shoes, it's whatever. I'll win.
The speedy receiver wasn't even supposed to be at Texas. He was supposed to be playing in Waco for the Baylor Bears. But when Baylor dismissed head coach Art Briles after the school's sex assault scandal, Duvernay needed to make a quick decision to find a new home.
It was difficult because, we kind of had our mind set on where we were going and where we wanted to go, and then all of it, just being cut and just trying to find somewhere else.
Somewhere else was Texas. While the transition to Texas hasn't been as smooth as it could be, Duvernay is quickly leaving his mark in Sterling Gilbert's fast-paced offense.
It's been great. I transitioned well, even though I came here late, but got to talk to Sterling. Felt like, trying to turn this program around, and the offense was, I was interested in that, so that was a big part.
He's a great kid. He's high character. He's intelligent. He has every intangible you would want in a recruit. He's being productive right now. We're excited about him.
While Gilbert is excited about having another speedy deep threat on offense, Duvernay says he's excited about the direction Texas is going.
The future's, just bright here, so I feel like I could come join and help out.
But no matter what, win or lose, Duvernay will always have a competitive mindset.
I don't think anyone can cover me.
Mark Skoll Jr., College Press Box.
Well, that does it for tonight's episode of College Press Box. You can catch us on TSTV every Monday night at 9:30. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at College Press Box to get the latest updates on all Longhorn sports. For some of the best sports debates on the 40 Acres, be sure to catch our sister show, College Crossfire, airing Wednesdays at 9 p.m. From all of us in Master Control, the studio, and myself, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on your Monday night, and have a great rest of your night.